So here we are, Marco Severino from Flow Design Architects. In this new video, if you haven't followed us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, feel free to join us in all of the medias that we have out there. We started to record some video series in order to show the community important things that we come across all the time. So we try to kind of influence the community and kind of teach the community in a way that if they're trying to develop some properties, they have some information that they could base it off. So in this case, we are going to be creating a video series called Things to Consider While Buying a Property. So in the previous videos, we had conversations about zoning regulations, in some major items that you need to tackle. So if you haven't looked at that video, feel free to look at our list of playlists and try to find that video so you get a sense of those topics prior to seeing this video. If you've seen this video, then I would recommend you to look at the videos prior to get a sense of what we talk about at that time. But in this case, we're going to focus specifically on what things to consider while buying a property. So you as an owner, even somebody who doesn't own a property, I highly advise you to look into ways to own your own. Very important. I'm from the Dominican Republic. I came to this country, United States, 14 years ago. And one of the things that I put in my mind to do was to buy my own property. Just because, like I always tell clients, if you buy a property, it's something that you can say is yours, and then you can develop it. If you try to sell it in the future, then you have that option. But if you don't have something, then it becomes a little tough on that end. Plus renting, for some people it works, for some people it doesn't. I always try to kind of push my clients to own their own, so in case they want to develop it in the future and things like that. So what are the things to consider while you're buying a property? When you have that question in your mind, the first thing that you need to understand is the relationship and the difference between what if I buy the land, just an empty lot, and what if I buy an existing property. So you need to have very clear understanding of the difference between owning a land and then actually buying an existing property, and have a clear understanding of what is your main goal at the end of the day. So in this case, like if let's say you are a barber and you don't own your house, but you want to buy, or you want to either own your own house or buy land. So you need to really understand the difference and the implications of either buying an empty lot or develop an existing structure. So those are two major things that you need to first tackle in order to understand of what are the things that I need to pay attention to in order to either develop an existing land or my property. So after you understand the relationship of these two, then you can make a very informative decision in order to, if I do decide to buy land, what are my implications? Are my implications, setbacks? Are my implications FAR? Are my implications, zoning district? So it's very important. So if you don't know these topics, setbacks, FAR, and zoning district, make sure to look at the video that we previously recorded. We went into detail into all of this. But if you do decide to develop a land, just an empty lot, then you need to be aware of these topics and what you are trying to develop within that land. So it's very important. In this video, we're gonna go briefly discussing these elements. In each video, we're gonna talk about the difference of all these topics. But the first thing that you need to understand is the relationship between if you do decide to develop land, or if you decide to develop an existing property. Within the existing property, there are types of properties. There are residential properties and there are also commercial properties, which also relate to, the land, because if you're trying to develop a land, it also relates into whatever you're trying to do. Is it residential? Is it commercial? And then within commercial, do you have different type of businesses? So I kind of mentioned some of the ones that we typically see at the office, that we help clients all the time. So we are going to go into detail into these type of businesses and things that you need to consider to be able to develop that property. So stay in tune for future videos, and we're going to tackle those topics so that way you understand what can I do, and things to consider while developing either land or an existing property. Thank you so much, and we will see you in the next one.